right.
And I somehow got into sales
Yeah.
for them. And then I kind of got recruited into title from there.
Huh.
And I remember very clearly where I was in Target with my friend Brandy. And she's like, you should come work for Magnus and be in title. I said, absolutely not. It sounds horrible.
The title part was horrible, or the company, Magnus?
No. Definitely not the company. Just doing title. Because from what I could see, it was very competitive, very salesy. And at that time, I had still no real sales experience.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to hate it. And now I look back at that day and I'm like, thank goodness I made that choice.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Alan Kay Show. We got a very, very special guest today. Not only she's probably one of the best top executives in a title game, title and escrow, but she's also a very dear friend of mine. We know each other for over 5 years.
Yeah.
And before that, she tried to get my business for many, many, many years, but I was just too stubborn.
Are we telling
Right.
the truth on this thing, or are we?
We can always.
Okay.
And she does a great job for agents. She does a great job for a lot of agents outside of my brokerage, but more specifically, our agents in our company. And I'm super honored to have Kelly Rivera. Now, I still on my phone, I still have Kelly Beresford.
My best friends still have me in their phone as Kelly Beresford.
Okay, it's not going to get upset or
No.
anything like that. But I'm going to change that. After this episode, I'm going to change it
Okay,
to
I'll
Kelly
make it
Rivera.
official.
Or do you want to make it like Kelly Beresford Rivera?
That's just way too long.
That's too long?
Yeah, I'll just go
Yeah,
Rebecca.
KBR.
That could do.
That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining me.
Of course, thank you for having me.
How things going?
Things are good.
Yeah?
Yep, first podcast, and I'd rather do it with nobody
Is
but
this
you.
your really first podcast?
It is, yeah.
No way.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you're not nervous at all.
A little bit.
Is it because of the half of the bottle? Half of the bottle.
How did I get there?
By the way, Kelly is she is a wine connoisseur, right?
Self-appointed wine connoisseur.
So, yeah. Is there like a French word for it?
Sommelier, yes.
Yeah. So she drinks wine for morning, lunch, breakfast.
You know, if it's in front of me, I can't let it go to waste.
Well, here's what she said. She's like, Alan, I will do the podcast under one condition. And I said, just tell me, what is it? And I was thinking something like, like I have to pay her. And she's like, no, just make sure there's a bottle of wine.
And here
That's
we
it.
are.
So we got a beautiful bottle of wine, Cab,
Yes,
from
Paso Robles, my
Paso
favorite region.
Robles,
So thank
favorite
you.
region. Okay. All right, Kelly. So let's talk about your journey.
Okay.
When did you get into the title and escrow?
So I've been
Industry.
with Magnus, and it's the only title company I've ever been with.
Yep.
So been with Magnus. This July will be 8 years.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing before?
Before I was, well, do you want me to go all the way back or just right before? So
When you were born?
we're not going that far back. I can't even remember that far back. But in my professional career, kind of figuring out life, I went to college in Tucson, U of A, for psychology and business, but realistically I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yep.
And kind of fell into the world of real estate. I was working in restaurants in Tucson for a while and decided to come home and was on Craigslist and found a job at a home inspection company. Had no idea what a home inspection company was.
Okay.
My mom's a realtor, or she was at the time, and I said, hey, I have an interview with XYZ company tomorrow, and she's like, oh yeah, I use them all the time for home inspections.
Huh.
I'm like, what's a home inspection? So went in with them, ended up getting the job as an admin, just answering phone calls, doing paperwork. Never thought I'd be in sales. I'm not your typical salesperson.
What year was that?
That was 2015.
2015? So like 10 years ago?
Yep.
10 years
Yeah,
ago.
when I started with the home inspection company.
That was your first job?
First, adult job.
Adult job. Okay,
Other
got it.
than teaching dance when I was in high school, and then restaurants and little odd jobs like that.
Teaching dance. What kind of dance?
All kinds.
All kinds. Okay, interesting. All right. So your first real job, office job,
Let's call it the office job.
office job was
to-
2015 as an admin for an inspection company. All right.
And I somehow got into sales
Yeah.
for them. And then I kind of got recruited into title from there.
Huh.
And I remember very clearly where I was in Target with my friend Brandy. And she's like, you should come work for Magnus and be in title. I said, absolutely not. It sounds horrible.
The
Honestly.
title part was horrible, or the company, Magnus?
No. Definitely not the company. Just doing title, because from what I could see, it was very competitive, very salesy, and at that time I had still no real sales experience.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to hate it, and now I look back at that day and I'm like, thank goodness I made that choice. It was probably one of the best choices I've ever made in my life.
So that was 8 years ago. So what did it look like? Like, did you interview with, who did you interview with?
With Kim.
With Kim.
Brooks.
Okay, got it.
And I went in and I was, had my resume and thinking
Yeah.
I needed all this experience and where I went to college. And she's like, can you talk to people? Can you network?
You're hired. Just like that. Well, somebody had to probably pull strings,
Brandy
right?
put in a good word for me.
So Brandy was working for Magnus at that time? Oh, okay.
Yep. And she still is. She's one of our amazing reps.
Really? Never met her.
Her aunt is Cobra, who owns Vegas.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, got you. So you had a little internal hookup. Got it.
But I still had no idea what I was doing.
So they hire you as a account executive, right? And kind of share your first six to 12 months on the
So
job.
basically, when I got hired, it was good luck. There's no, I mean,
Like there was no like training.
yeah, no.
So what are you supposed to do? Like you don't have any sales experience. Anything about the industry?
I know a
right?
little bit now because working for the home inspection company and my mom being a realtor as I was growing up.
Sure.
But that was all my knowledge.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about title and escrow other than what you see on TV, like I'm in escrow and things like that. So got to know my escrow officer, Veronica, who I still work with to this day, and her side of things, and just started connecting with realtors and just asking people to meet with me.
Start connecting with realtors. Okay. And how was that going at
was-
that time?
It was interesting. I got kind of like, as I think a realtor would go to say, you think your sphere is going to be the people who would work with you? I'm like, I know all these realtors. My mom was with this company for
Yeah.
so many years. They're all going to work with me. They all have their people. They all
Yeah.
have their loyalties and their relationships. So they were like, oh, we're so proud of you, but who are you? It's your first day. It's your
Well,
first.
that's the thing. Like I remember, for example, when I used to be in production, like I used to get calls constantly from title reps, home warranty reps, obviously lenders, right? And you're like, okay, I got a good one. I got a good one. No, thank you. I'm not interested. right?
Exactly.
So that's exactly what you were doing. The same thing.
Yeah, and so I think I was reaching out to random people who would meet with me versus people I already know.
Okay.
And that's how I guess, started and got me to where I am. And I
Okay.
still, those people I reached out to at the beginning, whether it was social media or meeting somebody at a restaurant, they're like, I'm a realtor. I'm like, oh, that kind of a thing. I still work with some of them to this day. So that's really cool.
So how long did it take you to actually like start gaining the traction? Like I'm sure it took some time, right? It's not like you were like getting business from like day one or
yeah.
like day 30, right? Probably took some
I
time.
think I started making commission in 6 months.
In 6 months. So for 6 months, you didn't make any commissions. Are you getting any some sort of a base or
Yes.
there's a base? Is that the expectations that they put on you? Was the fact that, for the first like 5 or 6 months?
They usually say a year.
Oh, really? So they give you like a year?
They didn't necessarily say that, but that's what's typical, I guess, in the industry. Because especially if you don't know anybody or have a previous book of business, how
Yeah.
are you supposed to start getting escrows right away?
Interesting. So took you 6 months, start getting your first commissions. Like kind of give us an idea in terms of like your agent count, how many agents are you currently working with?
Then or now?
How many? Well, now.
Okay.
Like 8 years afterwards, right? How many agents are you currently working with? How many transactions? How many closings do you average per month and per year?
I mean, when it comes to how many agents I work with, there's probably a few hundred I work with.
A few hundred?
And the reason for that is because I don't discriminate whether you're a new agent or you've been doing this for 20 years. I am open to helping everybody as long as they want to in the work to be successful. As long as they're nice. I won't work with anybody who's not going to respect me or what I
So,
have to
so
offer.
there are counter reps out there that actually discriminate.
I mean, it might be the right word, but they only go after top producers.
Sure, sure. For you, it doesn't matter. New agent, experienced agent, you
I
want
mean, there's
all
agents
of them.
in your brokerage who I met when they were brand new
Sure,
from day one.
That's
when
right.
nobody else wanted to work with them. And
That's right.
now they're top producers and
That's
they'll
right.
never leave my side.
Okay, so if let's say, for example, you work with somebody who's brand new or even experienced agent, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what's your value proposition? Why should they work with you versus like, there's so many title companies
Mm-hmm.
out there, and I feel like it's so hard to lead with a unique value proposition because all of you pretty much are kind of like offering the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
and I
it's-
think in the grand scheme of things, yes, a lot of title companies
Yeah.
offer printing, design work, different things. I'd say the tools at Magnus are a lot. We have a lot of things to offer, but it really, not to sound conceited, but it comes down to me. Anything I tell people I'm going to do for them, I actually do and follow through. And my friend Nathan, who you know, he's a perfect example. When I met him, he said, I've met 10 different title reps, and everything that they told me they were going to do in our meeting, I never heard from them again.
Interesting. Why do you think that's the case?
Maybe getting overwhelmed. Sometimes you'll meet with agents and they want 50 things bullet pointed and they want them immediately.
Really? I was thinking more like 100 things. Like
It
yesterday.
depends on-
Like yesterday. Like, so how do you manage this, right? Like a couple of hundred agents, that's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of agents. And you're gonna have agents that have these unreasonable, and by the way, I love agents. I'm an agent myself. And at times
And I do as well.
I'm super unreasonable. And I'm not knocking like agents, but some of them can be a little bit unreasonable
Mm-hmm.
with their expectations. Let's say they're doing an open house this weekend and it's Friday and they want flyers Friday, like all that kind of stuff. How do you manage those expectations?
That took me a while to get because I'm a yes girl. And in this industry, it could be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever overpromise and underdeliver. So it is setting those expectations at the beginning, telling people if you need things for open houses for the weekend, I need to know by Thursday. If something happens on a Friday, I can usually make it happen, but realistic. Setting those expectations, and then they respect me more by knowing this is when we have to ask Kelly for things.
Got it. So, for example, you have an agent there that needs flyers by Saturday. Latest would be
I want to put that in words because I'm going to say Thursday. Let's say Thursday.
Can we just make it Tuesday or
You're
Monday?
right.
Would that be like
Yeah, and the only problem
it's
with that
24
is
hours. I mean,
being realistic is
yeah.
sometimes they don't find out until Thursday if they're
That's
having an
right,
open house.
yeah.
And, you know, a seasoned agent can probably hold an open house without their flyers, but a newer agent, it's their comfort zone. It's
Yeah.
having those flyers makes them feel like they can be more successful at the open house, and I want to be the person to make that happen for them.
But I think it's beyond flyers. I mean, honestly, I'm just speaking from my experience, talking to my agents and really knowing how you work with our agents. Like, it's so much more personal than that.
Absolutely.
I mean, they meet with you, they talk to you, some of the things that they share probably, you know, a little bit more personal, right? And they'll
Absolutely.
really open up to you. And I think that's another thing. It's not just the flyers. It's not just this shiny tool or this and that. There's so much to what you're offering, I think,
you.
and some probably perhaps other, you know,
Absolutely,
account
and I
executives.
feel like I want to be not everyone's friend, but I feel like I do become friends with most of the realtors I work with because I do get to know their story, and we feel like we know each other.
Yeah.
But the marketing is just like an additional bonus.
Yeah. Any interesting stories that you want to share about a realtor's experience for the past 8 years?
Oh, geez. But my experience, or
Yeah, your experience with the agent. You don't have to name the agent name.
I know. I guess I can. Can I share an agent's
Sure.
name in
Yeah,
particular?
absolutely.
So Samantha.
Samantha Bar.
So
Okay.
I met Samantha on Zoom because it was still COVID time.
Yeah.
She had just done a different brokerage, and I got an email saying, "Hey, this agent just joined the brokerage. Reach out to her." So we met on Zoom. She was working at a bank, and was so 50-50 real estate and the bank, and she couldn't use social media. I don't even know if you know this story.
No, I did not.
She wasn't allowed to use social media because working for a bank, you technically couldn't be a realtor. So she had no social media.
Wow.
And look at her now. So she won't mind if I share this, but she ended up getting fired from the bank because they found out she was a realtor. And she decided, sink or swim. Do I find another job to have some money, or do I just kill it in real estate? And she'll attest that I helped her along the way. But that first year, I think she closed 20 deals. And it was because she showed up to classes and met with me, and I helped her with all her marketing. But I met her from day one when she didn't have social media.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows Samantha knows her social media. She gets so much business from that.
That's right.
So for me, it's so cool to see somebody I helped from day one to see where they're at now. And she still needs my help on things. And she's my best friend. So, but we met through the industry.
Interesting. I didn't know about that story at all. Wow. All right. Anyone else?
Like a story like that from the beginning, or?
Well, from the beginning, or some, you know, like I'm talking about something unique, something different,
Oh, geez.
something crazy.
Good crazy or bad crazy?
Whatever. Bad crazy.
Oh, gosh.
Bad shit crazy.
I have so many stories. You've heard some of them before. I can't think of, on the spot, I can't think of a really good example. Something really good. No.
That's fine. Oh, move on. All right. So been doing this for 8 years. Love your job. You love your job.
I do.
I know we talked about this before, but I mean, you're there at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening, replying to the emails, working on the weekends, working during your vacation time. Like you were in Japan and you're working. Like if you really want to have a title rep that actually is so committed and dedicated to her job, and more importantly to the agents, she's the girl, by the way. I mean, she's amazing.
And it's truly because I do love
Yeah.
what I do. I love the agents I work with. So it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. Recently got married.
I did.
Yes.
June 2nd will be 2 years.
How's that going?
It's going great.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
And your husband, Aaron, he's also in the real estate space.
He is. That's how we met.
That's right. He owns a real estate brokerage.
He does.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome. Top agent as well, on top of that.
Yeah, and similar story to Samantha. I met him when he was brand new agent, 20 years as a chef, become realtor,
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that story. When did you meet him?
2019.
Okay.
And he was one of the neediest agents I'd ever worked with.
High maintenance.
But I think he was hungry.
Uh-huh. So you guys met, right? He started using your company. And how did it go all become into a relationship?
We
type
were
of
we
thing?
were friends for a while.
Yeah.
We weirdly had a mutual friend. Long story short, he worked in Vegas for a long time, and I know one person in Vegas. He's close friends with my mom. He's like my big brother, threw me my 21st birthday party, and him and Aaron worked together for several years in Vegas, best
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
So we instantly hit it off as friends
Uh-huh.
more than anything, and doing all his marketing, all the things I would typically do, making sure, especially new agents, are going to be successful. And I think we kind of had a crush on each other and didn't openly say it until we went out for sushi, and we weren't sure if it was a meeting or a date. And it ended up being a date in the end.
Was it a lunch or dinner?
It was a happy hour.
It was a happy hour. Okay. Do you remember the sushi restaurant?
Sushi Brokers.
Sushi Brokers. Got it. And how long was the meeting/date?
Maybe like 3 hours.
No way. 3 hours. Wow. Okay.
And that was the rest was history. We kind of decided we liked each other and never looked back.
Huh. And that was what year?
2019.
2019. That's 6 years ago. Got it. And you guys married, what, 2 years ago?
Yep. June 2nd will be 2 years.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I feel like it's nice being married to somebody in the industry because they get it. So when I work on vacation or work late hours, it's not like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Gets it
He gets it. Got it.
for the most part.
Let's talk about wine.
Okay.
Drinking wine.
Currently in this
You
moment,
should be drinking wine.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take a sip
Beautiful.
because you guys poured it for me, so thank you.
So I think you travel to California at least like 4 or 5 times a year. Is that right?
Probably,
Yep. So what regions of California do you usually
So-
go to, and which one is your most favorite?
Okay. So Paso Robles is my favorite
Yeah.
region in California. It's near San Luis Obispo. So we fly into and then drive. And mostly girls trips when we do these because all my girls love to wine taste. But we do Napa, Sonoma. We just did Carmel. Paso would be my favorite. I love wine. Parents got me on wine when I was underage. And when I went to college,
Hold on a second.
Don't tell anyone, it's just
Your parents got you.
I know, because we're
Hooked up?
Italian, you know. So
Oh my God. From what age you started drinking?
probably like junior, senior year in high school.
Okay, so
We
like
have,
16, 17 years
Yeah.
old? Okay.
So when I went to college, I'd call my mom and be like, "Hey, what are some good wines?" And she's like, "You can't afford any of the wines that we drink at home. You're gonna go get some Franzi out of a box, and you're gonna like it." So she spoiled me early on when drinking good wine.
Got it. Wow.
So a lot of trips that we plan, whether it's a girls trip or me and my husband, we try to find locations where we can wine taste.
And to Paso Robles a few times, right? Carmel.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about Carmel?
Didn't love the wine, but loved Carmel. It was incredible.
So the wine was like mid, it was average?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think they're known as much for their wine there as versus like Napa, Sonoma, Paso.
What about Santa Barbara area?
I haven't done wine tasting there yet
Okay.
on the list.
It's on the list. Interesting.
But even on our honeymoon, we were in Portugal, and the wine tasting out there, that was the best.
That was the best in California? What made it the best?
Just the wines, the different variety, and I mean, the pricing, not that that really makes a difference, but the good quality wine, you couldn't believe the pricing. It was
They're
so
cheap.
inexpensive.
The food probably was also really good. So super inexpensive, right?
Oh, yeah. You can't find expensive food and drinks if you try.
You know if they export that type of wine here? Like, I don't know. I don't see them a big selection of like
They have
Portuguese wines.
They do like Total Wine or things like that. They'll have Portuguese, French wines. It's just not the same.
They're not the same.
They're coming from those regions, but you're not getting everything that they have out there. You want the best, you got to be there.
Interesting. I'll check it out. I don't know. Really
You're not a
the
big
last-
wine drinker. But
You know,
wine-
it really, I like wine with food,
Mm-hmm.
probably, right? If I'm like having a nice, beautiful, juicy steak.
Mm-hmm. My
At Steak
favorite.
44. Your favorite?
Steak.
Steak?
No.
No. My favorite. I'd have a wine, a glass or two, usually a cab.
Mm-hmm.
No. As far as like sitting and just sipping on a wine, no.
No.
No. If I would sip, usually going to be like a tequila,
Mm-hmm.
like an añejo or extra añejo, scotch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, wine makes me feel relaxed,
Okay.
maybe a little bit sleepy.
They say one glass makes you sleepy, two, you're good to go.
Oh, that's
So
how it works.
That's what
What
you're
about the
missing.
entire bottle?
It's a mystery.
That's
Depends on the day.
cool.